Today I'm going to be showing you why My First Orchard and 4 other games are the best games for your 3-year-old. And also why that might not be the case.
What can I play?
Hi, I'm Adrian and I'm new to board gaming, and I've been on the journey to find the best games to play no matter the situation. The situation that I found myself in this time is my son Ethan has increasingly wanted to play with us over the last 3 months.
What are you saying?
I said, what can I play?
But the games we've been playing are for adults. And so I need to rectify this by buying a whole bunch of child-friendly games and see which one he likes the best. Knowing very little about the right board games to buy for a 3-year-old, I did a lot of research. Looked at all those YouTubers, went on Amazon, did a whole bunch of research into what could be the right game to play. There were so many different recommendations, and ultimately I wanted to find a game that he and I could enjoy. Over the course of making this video, I realized that fulfilling my boredom needs is probably not the high priority, and making sure he enjoys the game is what matters most.
Go, go, go. Good job. You're on 3 each. Oh my gosh, it's so close. Oh, and those. Oh, Emma.
So I want to share all the games that we tried to play and what he thought of them. Before we get into that, stick around because I'm going to definitively show you the top 5 recommendations using data and how we got there. But first, let's dive into all the games Ethan and I tried. Here's a list of all the games that Ethan and I tried. I'm not going to go into detail in each and every single one of these, but a lot of these are really fun to play and I highly recommend checking a bunch of them out. Ethan's top 5. So this top 5 is based on 3 judging criteria: Ethan's ranking, my ranking based on how suitable it is for my kids, and last, adult boredom, how likely I will not get bored playing with my kids. I added in these last 2 criteria because, spoilers, Ethan scores all of his games 5 out of 5 in his top 5. So let's get started. In number 5, Happy Salmon. Happy Salmon is a chaotic game, and that is ultimately what draws kids in. You find yourself screaming out frantically for others to high-five you or one of the other 3 silly moves. Ultimately, the goal of this game is to discard all of your hands as quickly as possible. You do this by finding someone else with a matching action, then performing that action, such as high-fiving, fist bump, switching places, or Happy Salmon, which has you slapping hands and forearms together. It's hilarious, and Ethan absolutely loves playing this game. He scored it 5 out of 5. However, my rating for my kids would be 3 out of 5, purely based on how Ethan plays. He simply waits for someone to perform the action to him rather than seeking it out. This often leads to him losing, which he doesn't enjoy, but ultimately this game will grow with him and you can always throw the game to let him win. Which is why for adult boredom, I scored this 3.5 out of 5. It gets repetitive, and if you get too competitive, it's less fun for the kids, but it can surely be fun. This gives it a total score of 11.5 out of 15. Number 4, 5 Second Rule Junior. 5 Second Rule Junior is a simple game which has you naming 3 things from a suggestion in only 5 seconds. As you get it right, your piece moves along the board until someone wins at the end. What makes this game fun for Ethan is it's a trivia style game which he can ultimately participate in. Ethan loves it as it makes him feel smart, and that's why he scored it 5 out of 5. Or maybe it's because of the cool timer that he scored it 5 out of 5. It does make a cool zoop noise, which he loves. Regardless, for my ranking for my kids, I scored it a 3.5 out of 5. Reason being is 5 seconds is just way too quick. So we now give Ethan a handicap of no timer. But if he passes or says, I don't know, he doesn't get to move. As for adult boredom, I scored it 3.5 out of 5. It's fun, and for me, surprisingly still has a challenge. Most times you do it easily, but every now and again, you as an adult draw a blank and it challenges you. These moments definitely make it fun for adults. Overall, 5 Second Rule Junior gets a 12 out of 15. Number 3, Rhino Hero. Rhino Hero, when you first play through it, seems much like Jenga, but with cards. But after the first playthrough, you realize that there is a bit of strategy going on. The aim of the game is either to A, get rid of all your rift tile cards first, or B, don't knock the building down. It's simple, but the genius comes in the design of the cards, having changing wall placement positions and rift tiles that have different abilities, forcing players to skip turns or allowing you to be risky and take 2 turns, thus getting rid of more of your rift tile cards. Then the fun Rhino card that has you moving the Rhino higher and higher up the tower for some added edge of the seat moment play. Ethan loves playing this game, so 5 out of 5 from him. But for myself, 3.5 out of 5, largely because when Ethan plays, the tower gets too tall for him, so you have to start on the ground. Also, the strategy of the game of me skipping his turn can sometimes cause a bit of sourness. As for adults boredom, 4 out of 5. I'd play this any day over Jenga. There's layers to this game, and I've even pulled it out when the kids aren't around and played with my friends, and we've had a great old time. This gives it a total score of 12.5 out of 15. Number 2, Pancake Pile-Up. Pancake Pile-Up is another simple game that has layers to it. The aim of this game is to race one another to build your pancake pile based on the menu cards. First to do so wins. The normal and the way the rules say to play this game is to do this in form of a relay, where you get the pancake from one side to the other and swap to the next player. However, you can play this sitting down, racing your competitor. You can play this in a more simple way by just stacking 5 pancakes together. And this is what we do for Zoe, my 2-year-old, who is playing. And it's lots of fun. Ethan scored it again, a 5 out of 5. Despite this, I scored it a 4.5 out of 5 for my kids, largely because Zoe loves it a lot. It's a toy, but she can see the game in it also. Ethan finds it a bit too competitive and gets overwhelmed, but really enjoys playing with it as a toy and racing his sister. As for adult boredom, it's simple, but it's way more fun if you're doing a relay and are strict to not using your hands to hold the pancake down on the spatula. You get a fun egg in spoon relay vibe with a lot of layers. That's why I score it a 3.5 out of 5. And overall, it gets a 13 out of 15. And number 1, Cluster. Cluster is so simple, and it's designed for 14 plus. So how did it get to number 1? Well, it's a magnetic strategy game. You get 24 strong magnets, you divide them amongst each player, then you take turns placing a magnet down inside the string circle provided. If any magnets attract and cluster up, your turn ends and you pick up that cluster. First to place down all their magnets wins. Ethan loves it, mainly because it's magnets, and who doesn't like magnets? And there, I think, is also why it's rated 14 plus. It can be a bit dangerous if a young kid were to eat one of the magnets or something to that effect. But if you're playing with your kids supervised, the amount of fun they can have with just the magnets alone is quite worth it. Ethan scored it a 5 out of 5, no surprises there, but I scored it a 4 out of 5, largely because convincing my son to play the game properly takes a few goes, as he really just enjoys playing with the magnets. As for adult boredom, I scored it a 4.5 out of 5. Ultimately, it's magnets and it's fun, and there's a lot of strategy to it. You can even move the string if you need to. I put this game out just to play with my mates. Can you play it for hours? No, but is it fun when it's out? Yeah, it sure is. The full list is going to be in the description below for you to check out in your own time and have a look at all our ranking. Ultimately, my son liked playing all the games with me, but he got bored after 1 to 2 plays and cycled on to the next one. And that didn't leave me enough data and information to make this video as valuable as possible. And I really wanted to make that happen. And the reality is, I didn't have enough data points. As I was making this video, I was scrolling through the BGG Facebook page and just so happened to find this post. What a strike of luck. I knew what I had to do. I rolled up my sleeves and I got to work and tallied up all those mentions and created an objective, definitive formula based on 250 plus word of mouth recommendations from BGG forums. And this is the formula that I came up with. So after all this, what are the top 5? Let's get into it. Editor Adrian here. So in this next section, I did a really poor job of explaining what I was going to do. And basically, this definitive top 5 is from the BGG list. And what I'm going to do is, rather than do an explanation of each one of them like I did with our top 5, I'll be showcasing these to Ethan, and he'll be picking which one of these top 5 looks the best, and then we'll be buying it and playing it and putting it to the test. So that's what you're going to see now, is the next clip of me showing Ethan each one of these top 5. Alright Ethan, I've got some games that I want to show you, and I want you to choose which one you want Daddy to buy. Okay? And then we'll play. Number 5, Outfox. And this is a game that we can play together, and we got to work out who did it. And so there's a lot of game pieces, and you got to slowly work out who the bad guy is.
It's the fox.
Okay, I think maybe you solved it already. Number 4, My First Carcassonne. This one is a game about building a civilization, a town, and you got to make sure you build roads and houses and get the right people to win. Number 3, Hoot Owl Hoot. This is a game where you match colours and you got to get to the nest and save all the owls before it's daytime.
I want that one.
You like that one?
Mm-hmm.
Can I show you the other ones?
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll circle back if you still like this one. Number 2, Candyland. So this is a game where you got to match colours and get the characters all the way down the track and then get to the end. Does that one sound okay?
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
And in the number 1 spot, My First Orchard.
So this one is all about collecting the fruit from the trees and then putting them in your basket before the crow comes up and eats them. Out of all the games, which one sounds the best to play?
The owl one.
The owl one? Okay. So Daddy buy the owl one? Alright. Thank you.
But when I was Candyland too, I like it.
You like Candyland as well?
Candyland.
Do you like this one?
No.
Do you like this one?
No.
Do you like this one? But Candyland sounds exciting.
Yeah.
And Hoot Hoot Owl sounds the best.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll start with Hoot Hoot Owl and then we'll see.
What do you know? He picked Hoot Our Hoot. And ultimately, we played it and he moved on just like the rest of them.
And do you have one? You got it? Red! We did it! Awesome! Do you want to play again? No?
And Daddy, can I play another game?
What I've learned here is you can't please my 3-year-old, but we had fun trying. If you like this video, please consider subscribing because I plan on exploring the world of play in more fun and data-driven ways. See you then.
Sure. What game do you want to play?
Penguin.
Not Magnet Game. Penguin. It's not even in your top 5. That wasn't even in your top 5.
Why?
I love you, mate.
What did I give the penguin?
I don't know, 10?
I don't like 10 in me.
You gave it quite low. You got bored of it. You gave Magnet Game number 1.
No, I didn't. I gave 0.
No, you gave it 5 out of 5. You also gave Rhino Hero 5 out of 5. You also gave... Oh, what else did you give?
Bluey.
Bluey? We don't have a Bluey game.
I do. I do on my tablet.
Oh. So you rather play video games than board games?
Yeah.
Next video, we're going to make top 5 video games for Ethan. Alright. Thanks, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
High five.
Bye.